all ready to go, I think. So all the buttons on the cartridge are set to plain or neutral, so that's good. There's a couple of things that I need. So firstly, we need the, what do you call this? The pattern plate. So it's toothed on one side and straight on the other. The other thing we'll need is the cast on comb. So it's quite lethal looking, but anyway, later on I think we hook it on to our ball down here, which gives it a bit of weight to keep it pulling down so it doesn't all catch. This here, I don't know if you can see it, no you can't, so I'll talk about it later, but anyway, it's a row counter, so it flicks as we go backwards and forwards, so we'll set it to 0. Down the far end of the machine there's some marks on it, so they're labelled A, B, C, D and E, so they are positions which you can move the needles forward to or back to as required. To cast on, we need to decide how many stitches we're going to use. So here there's some handy numbers, so 0 here, which obviously marks the middle, and then we'll go 10 to the left, and then 20 to the left, and 10 to the right, and 20 to the right, so we'll have 40 stitches altogether. So we're going to use the smooth edge of the pattern plate and bring them forward to position B. So you can kind of hear them click, and I need a few more down this end, and then just double check that's one too many, and there's one too many down there, and make sure you've got 20 needle poking out at 20 here and 1 here. So now we have the number of stitches we want, which is 40. We need to move every alternate needle back to position A, so that's where this tooth bit comes in really handy, and we can line it up on the needles, bomb bomb bomb, and just push them back. Woohoo! So far so good. Now I've got 2 left here. There's no point pushing that one back because obviously I don't think it will collect it, so we'll leave it forward. So now for the exciting bit. We're going to pull the carriage across, and hopefully it picks up all of every other hook. That's what it's supposed to do, all of these ones that are poking out, and wind sort of backwards and forwards. You'll see what it looks like in a second. Anyway, so holding the yarn down underneath where we've threaded it through the carriage. Which way will I do this so my arm won't get in the way? Anyway, holding that taut, bring this across, fingers crossed. Yes! We are attached. So you can see here that it's zigzagging and it's picked up, hopefully you can see, I'll have to zoom in I think, picked up every second one of those hooks. It's missed one. No, it hasn't. It's not missed one here, it's just that this one here isn't quite back far enough. So I think we just need to pull the yarn here and loosen it off. Let that pull back to there, and this last one as well, pull back to there, so it's all nice and even. Woohoo! That's exciting. Now this is where that comb thing comes in, and we have to attach it, so these hooks onto each one of these bits of yarn that goes around the front. So we just hook that on there, keep this yarn end tight on the inside. Okay, so now we can zoom back and hopefully, oh no, sorry, we don't. We have to bring forward the other needles, these ones that are halfway back, so when it comes back, it will pick up these other stitches. Gosh, that was lucky, I would have just stuffed that up. Alright, so we'll pull these forward with our line them all up nice and straight. Doesn't have to be exact, it seems to pick them up alright. Okay, and we're zooming back, fingers crossed. Uh-oh, a bit of a jam. Why is it jammed? Oh dear. Okay, I guess we're figuring out how to get this off. So, Let's just move this bit of yarn out of the way because that's just annoying. To get this off, we have to unscrew these. Pull this off. Let's see what's happened. Oh, it's done something weird. And then we can lift this carriage off. So we can see, just lift it off and then put it back over here. And, oh, I don't know what's gone wrong here. It's just not picked up all the stitches. So that's a shame. So, what we're going to do is do that again. Yeah. Unpicking. This is unpicking, by the way. Bring it forward and back and forward and back. Forward and back. We'll just carefully take this off because that looks like it would do damage. Fell on my toesies. Unpicking. Oh, what a bugger, that didn't work. I'm going to have to do it again. Okay. And hopefully you can see I can put this carriage back on so it just lines up like that. And then screw that back on so it sits in place. Oops, I didn't get the carriage on properly. Take it to the end, Jenny. There we go. So you can see here, just there. Screw these back on nice and tight. Try again. Right. So stitches to be. Push every other stitch back to A. Let's just make sure they're all properly back. Obviously it hasn't been used in a while, so things are a little bit sticky. You don't want to oil these things because it'll just make all the fluff and stuff from the wool stick to it, and it will build up and it will get clogged, and they will just, yeah, it wouldn't be pretty. They will not move at all. They'll become sticky and clogged up. Okay, so now we're back to pulling the carriage across every other stitch. So here we go, holding the yarn underneath, pulling it across. Oops, took the camera with me because I had moved the yarn so we could see, so I'll just unhook that again. Okay, so we've made it across. So next step is to put the tooth comb on. So we will hang that on there in between those stitches. Keep some weight on it, keeps it nice and tight, so it doesn't gather up and go blur in there. Right, next we have to remember to bring these needles that are at position A up to position B. Right there. So I'm going to pull that down a bit because I feel like at this end it creeps up, it's going to get in the way. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh yes, we have 2 rows. Woohoo! That's looking pretty good actually. 2 rows. So now I've cast on. So I just keep zooming. Woohoo! We have progress. Right here, these ones have come up a bit, so we need to just pull this yarn here, hopefully you can see it back a little. Whoops, there's lots of little bits. So I think it hasn't quite hooked over there properly. So I just need, I haven't got my little tools. I should have had my tools ready. Just need to hook that off of there. And hook it over. wants to go, it does. Maybe the scissors will help. Get in with my fat little fingers. And then I can pull that down. I think that's got it all, and this one as well needs to come down. Okay. Loosen that. Got it. Got it. Make sure they're all nice and even. Pull that weight down. There we go. So these ones that are catching on the end, I wonder if that's got something to do with the tension I had set here on the dial. I don't know enough about it at this point to figure out whether that's the case or not, but okay, let's do some more. Not fair, I say, not fair. Take that off. Unpicking. Oh no, I dropped a stitch. Okay. So this is where those handy tools come in. So the stitch that I just dropped here. You'll need this and your tongue to try and pick up that drop stitch, which isn't easy. Oh no. Okay, so I've got two here, so let's just see what I can do. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see this, but anyway, I've dropped two stitches. One's gone down a row and one's just here. So the first one I can, push this out of the way. So I'm going to hook the hole in the needle onto there and just hopefully pull just that first, because I don't want the next one over. Take the hook off. Whoops, I haven't got quite got, there's a little bit of fluffy yarn that's catching. Come off of there. Pull back. Okay, we have it. Oh, now it's dropped the next. No, it hasn't. Yes, it has. Okay, this is super frustrating. I'm going to need this one here, which for now I'm just going to latch on here so it doesn't unravel any further. Try and pick up this dropped stitch over here. So, might have to unpick a row anyway, because what's happened is these little latches haven't flicked back. So if I pull, it's just going to come off. I'll catch it on there. There we go, and pull it back. There's a few of those. This one's good. These ones at this end are okay. This one isn't. Keep that down. Nope. Okay, so from way back here. Ugh. Do you know what? I've done so little. I'm just going to unpick it and start again. Maybe this is why these things just went out of fashion. They're quite tricky to get your fingers into when things go wrong, and gosh, I could have knitted that with my hands in that time. Maybe as you do more you get better, but this is frustrating. So you can easily pull it off because these little latches aren't going to catch because they're open. Ooh. Push it forward and pull it off. Ugh. Oh, frustrating. I thought I was doing so well. Clearly not. Clearly not. I wonder if it's the yarn. It's just catching on little bits here. I'm going to change that knob to number 9.2 instead of 9.1, maybe. Anyway, the point of this is that it's all just going to come off. And now I can just unpick it from there and start again because it might be quicker. Okay, let's go. Finally got there. I've achieved something. So this is 12 rows. The row counter works really well. Obviously as it works up. So this is the wrong side, so the right side is underneath. This comb started falling off, so yeah, that was a bit awkward. I had to put it on in some weird sort of position. So I think now I'm going to put on the trusty weights, hopefully. Oops, that will help keep it down. And then I'm going to do some more zoom-zooming. Great terminology, isn't it? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, so I've got some weights on there, which will hopefully help keep it down. So just a couple of things that I noticed was, let's see if I've done a bit. I have to watch these end stitches because I don't quite always pull through properly. You definitely need to check every row after you've finished to make sure everything is as it should be. Because if you do drop a stitch or something, it's going to be much easier to pick it up if you find it as it drops. So far, I mean, this has been a little bit tricky, but I have been trying to figure out what to do. But I feel like in the time that I've done this, I probably could have knitted that myself. And this weird bit, because it doesn't seem to, I don't know, this is the cast on, but I mean, it's just really this piece of yarn. So I'm picking that you actually have to pick up these stitches and onto needles and cast them off or something. I haven't actually seen, I had a quick look through the manual and I haven't seen anywhere that says how to cast off. So that could be interesting. And then fixing up your cast on edge. There is there is a bit where for your ribbing it says that you have to kind of like pick these stitches up and put them on here, and that folds it. I haven't got enough rows for that. I need to do another few rows so it will fold. And then it just creates a folded edge. And by the looks of it, you can't do knit one, purl one, or any sort of ribbing stitch manually. You actually would have to undo, like take a stitch off and run it down and then bring it up the other way so that you get your rib effect. Oh, I think that would be easier just to knit as well. Anyway, that's as far as I've got. I don't know. It's time for a cup of tea. Yeah, there's my manual. I'm going to go have a cup of tea and decide what I'm going to do next. bye.